All right, JBC Race Nation, I think we are live. Let's see. Yes, yes, we are live, my friend. JBC Race Nation, happy Labor Day to all you guys. It's been an amazing weekend. I hope you guys are doing some riding, and we had um, the Louisville WC Nationals for BMX. So our BMX national team was kicking butt. But just an awesome 3-day weekend for a lot of you guys out there, and we've got special guests on you guys. Like I said in the past, we wanted to do some live broadcast and interviewing with riders that actually are out there. I've been, as you guys know, I've been racing BMX, and our brand is going on 4 years. But we have Nathan Craig, and so Nathan, where are you broadcasting from right now?
So I'm broadcasting from Enid, Mississippi, which is about 50 miles south of Memphis, Tennessee. Uh, Small little town down here, and I've been living here for about 2 years now. And I'm from this area, and this is where I do a lot of my riding here and in North Alabama. I've got a buddy that lives over there that we ride with a lot together, and yeah, it's just been riding for about 4 years now. Uh, we've raced cross country, and we ride enduro trails as for recreation purpose and for training for our races and everything. So that's just a little bit about me.
Cool. Yeah. So you reached out to me, as you know, we've had, you've seen, motocross gear and BMX gear, so like you mentioned, you've been riding for about 4 years, with with friends, and you're competing in enduro, and you reach out to me, and and mentions that I need to add enduro gear.
Yeah.
So kind of tell a little bit about that. What you're, not really mentioning brands, but what were you using before, and what wasn't working for you, and what do you think needed to be added to the marketplace?
So before, of course, I used motocross pants just as everyone else does in the industry. But I've always like yearned for a little bit more in quality of material being used, and then also breathability. Just because of how hot it gets down here in the South. That breathability while also still maintaining that quality of the gear is a big part of it. Um, so with my previous brands that I've rode with, an issue I would constantly have is when we would come in contact with that material on the ground, whether that be rocks, sticks, or logs, anything that is just highly abrasive. We would I would catch the material on a stick or rock or something of that nature, and it would just rip that material. And of course, by that point, the pants are no good. And then that's also a big safety issue because I mean, I know riding a dirt bike, can be dangerous, but at the same time, I try to be as safe as possible and I know everyone else does as well, because we all want to come home at the end of the day. Uh,
Right.
so, and what I was having is that, and then also the biggest issue for me was I was getting a lot of material inside of my boots when turns or when I was in close contact with that ground in different when I was in different positions. Uh, Water, debris from like sticks and rocks, and then just a lot of dirt and things like that. And that's really hard to clean out of boots, because with pants, you can just throw them in a washing machine, or you can just wash them out with hose and some soap and stuff, which is what I do.
Right.
And but whenever you have all that stuff get in there and mix with sweat and water and all that, your boots just become, at some point, they just become unusable. No matter how much you clean, they're just going to keep on having all that grit and that material in there, which is another reason why I reached out in the attempt to get an over the boot style of pants, which is commonly seen in adventure style riding, but is also marketed towards heavier, uh, debris prone types of riding, such as enduro and cross country. which is where I do a lot of my riding.
All right, right. Well, um, like I said, you're talking to the owner. I mean, not too many places you probably get the opportunity to actually talk to the owner and get this opportunity. I mean, it's a win-win for both. I mean, with I've learned a lot over these months that we've been looking at this. Um, like I said, I race BMX. I know what's important to me as a rider regarding breathability, comfortability. And most of all, durability, right? I mean, because BMX tracks, back in the '80s, everything was, soft dirt.
Yeah.
And we had knobby tires. Now, now everything is, really hard dirt, with sealant, and then we have, astro, not astroturf, but concrete, berms, and so we want something, durable, something that's going to be a quality product, for our riders. It's the same thing, we've tested with motocross. And so, regarding the marketplace, regarding Enduro, right, is there a lot of options for you guys regarding Enduro riding pants? I guess, is it what really makes a difference between motocross pants and Enduro pants? Is the stronger material probably and the over the boot feature, or is all some Enduro pants made to go inside the boot?
Some are to go inside the boot, and I don't know if that's maybe just I would say maybe a manufacturing thought process, is because you can use an MX. You know, I don't know what goes into manufacturing a pair of these pants, but let's just say we can use some of the same materials and same sewing, manufacturing processes, I should say, let's just assume that. I don't know if that's why they do that, so that we can mass produce those style pants for Enduro. So with that heavier material, but still have the same like framework, I should say, as a motocross pair of pants. But then there are some manufacturers that do market their over the boot pants, which are a completely different style. They have completely different materials used for them. They're a lot heavier while still maintaining breathability and also allowing for that new function of going over the boot. They're marketed towards enduro, and then also, like I said, adventure guys. That's where they kind of started out with, and then they've migrated towards into your recreation and racing. So it's just kind of I've researched it a little bit, or not a little bit, I've actually researched it a lot, and just understanding like where it's come from. And that's where it came from, is that adventure style where they go on the road and then off the road at the same time, and seeing those different like I discussed earlier, like different styles of riding constantly. Uh, and then it's migrated more into your faster pace, enduro, cross country style racing with that hard terrain. So I would say that I just off the top of my head, some of your bigger companies, or what I should say, I'm not going to say bigger. We'll say more worldwide.
Sure.
Have that endless amounts of money behind them at constant times. They have divisions that make these over the boot style pants, but then to other manufacturers that don't even dabble in it. They're just like no need. I should say they're like, we're just motocross and we'll just keep going. And I see a need in both areas. Because I'm sure everybody hates getting stuff inside of their boots, which is, at the end of the day, when you have a pant that goes over the boot, that is the entire purpose. It's just to keep stuff out and to keep you going on, and to keep you able to go through those rugged terrains and not having any issues. So,
Well, I mean, that's one thing, with my brand, you know, with our BMX, obviously I was testing it multiple times before I bring it live, and then on motocross, with our BMX, we had two style pants, from our regular to our stretch, and then we went to from our regular style for our motocross pants. We did that for years. It's like kind of mentality, if it's because we're a small company,
Yeah.
it's if it's not broken, don't fix it kind of thing. And we had many motocross riders reach out to me, as well as hey Brady, you should really look into making a stretch pair. And because a lot, just like especially with BMX, a lot of that was out there on the market. If it's stretched, that means unfortunately it's thin. It just one wreck and it's done. And so we looked at that, and we had a motocross rider, that would multiple pants, that different styles that he liked, put it through the ringer, and it came through with flying colors. And so we want to make sure that we're testing a product, and not making it live, before it's been tested, by actual motocross enduro riders like yourself. So like you reached out to me. It's been a while, kind of tell the viewers kind of what the process that because we basically initially we came up with the design.
Yep.
And when that first design came out, the bottom of the was not, because you were obviously wanted to go over your boot. Unfortunately, it wasn't. Didn't have the ability to do that on the first pair.
Yeah.
And then we got that corrected, and so now, that new feature is able to go over completely over your boot, and then kind of go over that, with our viewers, kind of go over the process, Nathan. Regarding, I've seen, seeing you've been out there riding with them, and kind of go over with that.
So like you said, the what it started out with was just an idea, just a pitched idea. We that I brought to you, and with some examples from other manufacturers, showing as to like what are they, and like I said earlier, just pretty simply, they're just a pant that goes over the boot, so that the end of the pant leg, it just has a wider mouth to allow to go over the top of. I'm using some motocross style boots because they have, in my opinion, some of the widest material. Because in enduro style boots, they're a little bit more sleeker, but they're kind of more simpler, I should say. They're more like a pair of boots, like of leather boots. And so I used those for testing because I knew that if somebody got this pair of pants and they didn't want to break the bank and go get an enduro set of boots, and they just want to keep using their MX boots, that would be the best testing platform. And as you said, the first pair that you sent out to me, we had a big issue. I couldn't fit them over the top of my boots. And the reason being is as I've stated before to you and talking with you, I'm a bigger guy. I'm probably at the limit of what normal people say is what you can do to ride a dirt bike. And so I'm a 6 foot tall guy. I weigh about 230, 240 pounds, and my legs, my calves, to be precise, are pretty big. Strictly, they're not fat. They're just extremely muscular because I have a muscular build on my legs, and so that put me at a disadvantage with over the boot style pants because my boots are wider than your average rider, in comparison to like my friend from Alabama and some of our other riding buddies, with their legs being of a smaller frame style built. Um, their boots are a lot skinnier, I should say. So on our revision of it, what we did was I measured my leg at the widest point on the boots with everything, and we come out to about 22 inches in circumference. And when I got the revised pair back from you guys, I tested them immediately, and they slid right over, and they were just wide enough to go over my boots. And I would comfortably say that I'm probably one of the most outlier on the larger end of what the end of that pants leg needs to be. So I'm sure that any normal sized, or I shouldn't say normal, I should say average size rider, um, they should be able to fit these over their boots perfectly, and with minimum resistance, with minimum issues, and then they should be able to. And then I even got them right here, and I can show you just what goes on, and I'll just hold them up. So,
And anyone that's also Nathan, any guys that are on right now viewing it, put a comment. You guys have any questions for Nathan? Put the question in the comments. First of all, can you guys hear us right now? If you guys give us thumbs up. Go ahead.
oh no, you're fine. Absolutely, I agree. If anybody has any questions, I can definitely answer. So, what we have here is a standard like your motocross pants, just same material or similar material. Uh, uh, John or Brad, you'll know more about this as to what they're made out of, not me.
Yeah.
But we've got this zipper right here. That what it does is that it allows the end of the pants leg to flare out further than the standard pants, and then once it is zipped down, which I can do real fast. I've only got
And
one.
we have a great video example on every when you just click on the go JBC Enduro and you click on a particular kit, you're going to see in a video, exactly what that does, how it zips, and there's a Velcro at the bottom where it's going to, make it so it goes around your boot really nicely, but then also you can zip it up. So one thing that, initially what we did is when we first designed this for you, Nathan, regarding I think it was an adult 38 pants waist, is that initially that the bottom of the wasn't big enough to go around your boot that you had. So that was an improvement that we did. But the zipper we made a little bit higher, so it opens up, fully, right?
Yeah,
But then also we can zip it all the way down and then Velcro it in, so it really hugs your boot, hugs your ankle, right?
absolutely. There is like minimum gap, and whenever they're on my boot, I can't even I know I met a fella that had another pair from another brand, and after he zipped them up, and this is where I say like that one size fits all kind of deal is that they probably didn't test with certain types of people. They probably just put on a pair of boots and said, "All right, they work." And but I could still get my finger up under the pair. So because there was only one spot where you could get that excess and tie it back, there wasn't. Whereas on this pair, from us, there is a larger amount of Velcro that goes all the way down. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to tie back that excess as far as you need to. So it allows you to get a tighter grip around the shaft of your boot, and to like what I'm saying is like you have minimum opening down there at the end, which is what we want. We want to keep all of that out and keep everything on the inside as clean as possible so that we don't have any issues. And I believe, in my opinion, now of course my opinion is my opinion, but with my review of these pants, I have not seen any minimum material getting up to the top of the boot. It has never even made it past just right down there at the bottom towards where the shaft is of the boot, but just because of how tight of a tolerance we can create with that Velcro plus that zipper, and just dialing in that sizing of going over the boot was a good thing in my opinion. So,
And I don't know if you're able to lay the pant down and
absolutely.
kind of go away from the pant, so you can kind of, it's like the viewer can kind of see it.
So, I've got one side of them is zipped up, and then the other side is unzipped. So So from the top is pretty standard, and the typical pants, which ironically I think I have the other pair of MX pants here too, so I can actually lay those out for a comparison. And just to see, that is how it opens up. And then we see this pair over here is just looks like a standard pair of pants down at the end. And then we have this area right here that opens up, allowing for that boot to pass through and for us to get that over the boot, structure of pants. So if you want to talk, chat for a minute, I'm going to dig through my closet real quick and find my other pair of MX pants if I can get it.
Sure. So as you guys, with the 100 plus, options regarding your motocross pants, the availability of this is going to be able to, regarding pretty much every motocross style that JBC offers is you're going to be able to get the same with the new Enduro pants. So basically when you go on to the website, johnbradleycustom.com, and you click on JBC Enduro, click on, so it's set up where it's the entire kit together, jersey, pant. You can order just the pant by themselves. Currently, there may be 20 plus designs that you can choose from currently now, but just so you know that we can design every design that you see in the motocross pant, we can design it, regarding the color design as an Enduro pant. So if you don't see a particular Enduro pant design that you want, just really you can order, let's say just order any pair, but put in the comments, please make, so let's say if you wanted a flagship yellow or flagship gray, so I'm going to go onto the website for example right now. And so if I click on JBC Motocross and I click on MX kits and I want, let's say, I want a flagship Win Orange or flagship Thrive Enduro kit, or any of the Rusher kits, any of the Sol kits, any design that you guys see that regarding the motocross designs that you don't see in the Enduro, we can design the same on Enduro. So again, you can really order any kit, but then put in the comments, which that will be definitely flagged. They'll see that and say, you can please make flagship black, or please make brushed, RWB kit, or pop art cheetah kit. We will design anything that you guys again currently see as your motocross design. We can do it in Enduro. And same thing with any of our pants, BMX, motocross, as well as Enduro. You guys definitely want to look at the size chart. The size chart is at the top. If you look on your phone, you have those 3 bars. Click on that. That's the menu bar. The bottom of it says size chart. Make sure you guys are clicking on that. Same thing when you look on your computer. Click on size chart at the top, and then scroll all the way down, and the sizing is going to be the same thing for your motocross pants. So typically, as is, if you order, so if I go on the size chart right now and I scroll all the way down to motocross pants, and I want to choose, let's say, an adult 38 waist pant, right? Just so you know, on a motocross pant and Enduro, that the pant length, which is the outseam, which is the top of the waistband to the bottom of the pants, flat, just like Nathan's laid the pants on the floor. If you measure the top of the waistband down to the bottom of the cuff, they would measure as a 42-inch length. That's the outseam, right? So don't be thinking I need a 28-inch length. That's because what you're thinking of is the inseam. So again, this is designed as the outseam. Again, measuring from the top of the waistband down to the bottom of the pants. So as is, an adult 38 comes as a 42-inch outseam. So if you're a shorter stature rider or a taller rider, and you know that particular pants needs to be shorter or longer, we can do that. So again, in your pants, BMX, motocross, and Enduro, that an adult 38 waist pants is going to fit your, you're an adult, you have a 38 inch waist, then you want to order an adult 38 pant because it's not necessarily going to stretch, but it will be able to bring it in, right? We have the front ratchet, we have the 2 side Velcros that will bring that pants in. But if you measure yourself and you are true 38, that's what you want to order. But then in the comments, and you wanted to make, you need to make that outseam to be 38 inches, or you need to make the outseam 44 inches. Very simple. Comments, one comment box per order on say, please make outseam on pant 44 inches or 38 inches. That will be flagged. I will definitely see that, and we will make your custom pants at a 38 inches length, 38 inches waist, at 38 inches length. Now you have a custom pants that is going to be made for you.
Absolutely. So I've got my MX pants here, and with them side by side, we can actually see all of the noticeable changes that have been made for this Enduro style pants over the MX. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get down, I'm going to show you. So this is the MX style right here, the original. And here is the Enduro style. As you can first tell, our leather on the inside of the pants leg is extended all the way to the bottom. And what that's going to allow you to do is have more grip while also having increased protection against the frame of the bike. Just because this is a little bit more, or actually a lot more grippy than the material here is. So what that, again, is going to allow you to do is just be able to hold and hug the frame of that bike and move it the way that you need to whenever you're in that forest terrain or in the rocky terrains that you're riding in. The next noticeable difference is right here and here on both sides is a vent, so that whenever you're riding, and I'm going to have to open them up right here. When you're riding in a hot, humid climate, but it's a very dry climate, so there's not a lot of water and mud going on in the area, you can open these up and have the breathability that we were speaking on earlier right through there. That is a prime vent right there, just letting all that air come in, because in a sitting position, this area right here is already at an angle, so it's allowed any bit of airflow. That's just what I call in the car industry ram air. Essentially, it's just passive air that's just ramming itself into an area just from the speed of the bike and yourself. The next thing is that,
and especially sitting right above your knee.
Yes, it is. So right here, where the knee pad over here is, as you can tell, it's a smaller area of padding, whereas here on the Enduro, it's like an extension at the end of it on both sides. So that increasing just even more protection. And I know some people may say, "Oh, that's not going to do anything if I get into a crash going, however fast." But I'm going to tell you one thing: I've crashed a good bit. My buddy has as well, and he says it all the time. Any bit of material in front of you, that skin, is better than no material in front of that skin. So, and of course, you've got your pockets up here, and they're angled differently than over here. Whereas these go down, these are to the side. So that is some of the biggest noticeable differences. And then also this material here in the center of the pants, whereas it's over here, it's shaped differently and extended a little bit further. Same here with nothing's really changed right here with this stretchy material above the knee. Same on both pair. And then, of course,
So basically, Nathan, the main material of both pants are made of a 600D Condura.
Okay.
But the back of the back panel of the seats on both, because one thing we've learned in motocross seats is they really have made the seats really grip the grip your butt, right, when you're sitting down. And what happens is when you go back and forth, it really shreds most. That's another thing we found, that it's really shreds many current motocross pants on the market. Especially when they're doing whips or whatever, on the motocross bike. And so the main construction of the pant is a 600D Enduro. To give you what that means is like a BMX would be like a 300D. 600D is just a thicker material, Enduro material, which is the main material of the pant, which is not going to stretch. And so then you have the stretch material in the crotch and the knee and the back of the seat, right?
Yeah.
So then what we did is we made the back panel of the seat where you're actually sitting on the bike seat a 1000D.
Yeah.
So it's a lot thicker material, so it's going to take more of that abuse.
Absolutely. Which, I mean, and that's something I've been noticing. I ride with a little bit like I have the stock Yamaha seat on mine. I haven't ever changed it because I haven't ever seen a need in it. But I have met other riders in the community. They use aftermarket seat covers, and like you're saying, they're more aggressive material that just hold and grip onto yourself. And I have actually noticed in the field of riding, I've actually seen it. What you're talking about, lower quality material being used on certain manufacturers of pants, they get just shredded over time. So that is actually, I know me and you've talked about that a lot, and I've seen the benefits of it, and I've also explained to these people the benefits of it that have that issue that you're speaking of with other manufacturers, and hopefully that has turned them on to getting these great pairs of pants. Because everybody constantly asks me, whose are those? Where'd you get those? And I show them where I got them from. And I don't even have to say anything. They just it's like when they see something, then they see a new piece of candy. They want to know what it is and where you got it from. So,
Right.
but yeah, I've got these flipped over here as you were talking about, just to see the difference in construction of them. In the rear, of course, it's not too much, but of course you got your zipper here towards the rear, the pants, which would be on the side kind of. And then of course over here we got more stretchy material. And then here's that stretchy material again right here. But
It's also vented, if I'm not right. The back of the calf is vented.
it is.
Yeah, and then the top from your back of your thighs. That's that black stripe. That's that stretch material, and then the light gray is the Cordura, which doesn't stretch. So basically, it's going to allow the stretch, on the back of your thigh. It's going to be able to stretch the back of your seat as it goes across. So when you're bending over, so you have that on both the motocross and enduro.
Absolutely. And I'm
there's also like 4 pockets on the Enduro Panther, right?
yes, I was just looking at them right here on the back sides, right there.
So basically, it goes along the length of your thigh.
Mm-hmm.
So you have two front smaller pockets on the front, and then two larger, probably almost like a foot long, aren't they?
Yeah, about. I mean,
yeah.
So yeah,
Almost basically the length of your thigh, roughly.
Yeah.
That it's really on the side of your thigh, and like for whatever you need.
Yeah, and like in comparison, like here we've got our motocross pocket, and it's just right there on the front, not on the back, or on the side, I should say. And like you said, right here we've got our front one, smaller one, then we've got our backside one on the thigh of the bigger one. And I mean, it is nice. I'm glad I have both pairs with me right now. These are, of course, I've cleaned these very thoroughly for this. Just so we can have them setting side by side. It's nice to see the difference between the two. So you have, like your standard pair, and then you have what you can do to them and have that difference for whatever you need,
Because currently, basically, I mean, the pants that you have is it's basically, if you looked on the website, they're the signature gray fade enduro motocross kit or the pant. So when you go on the site and you go to the top, it says JBC Enduro MX.
Yep.
If you really want a description of the pant, kind of what we're going over, you can click on an Enduro description. It really gives you what it's made of, and it kind of gives you a quick video of what Nathan went over in the bottom of the pant. And also so this comes as just the the kit together. You can get, and then the jersey is basically the same thing as a motocross jersey, but then the Dura pant you can order by itself.
Yeah.
So when you do that, it's actually is a picture of these, the exact pants that Nathan has, the gray pair.
Mm-hmm.
Showing the front and back panel of the pant, and you just scroll way down, and but when you click on it, it's going to only show you one picture. It's going to show you the video of the actual pant, as Nathan kind of went over. But if you it actually says all Enduro MX pants. So don't think you just can get, just this color. If you click on it, which I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I'm actually doing the same thing just to go look at it.
It shows you, it actually opens up at the page where it says all Enduro MX pants. So basically every pant that that's currently in the library that's downloaded, is you're going to see. And basically look for that under the description. Right now, when you click on that, it brings up the first option is the Gold Rusher Enduro pants. And I don't know, there's 25, I don't know, without counting, maybe, I don't know, 25 to 40 different designs. But if you don't see the one, again, like I said, if you don't see that particular design that you want, that you may have seen on the motocross pant, you can really, order any of these pants. So let's say if I ordered if I click on Gold Rusher Enduro pant, hit add to cart, and then the comment, let's say I wanted to, order something I know that's not on here, that's in a motocross style, just like, please make, this particular style, and then we'll do that for you. So, but yeah, I mean, so right now it's you guys. So when you go on for the Enduro, go to JVC Enduro MX. If you want more description, click on description. If you want the kit as a whole, the jersey and pant, you click on the kit. If you just want the pants by themselves, then you click on Enduro MX pants, scroll all the way down, and then you're going to see only one picture. But if you read it, it says all Enduro MX pants.
Yeah, just like that right there.
And then you click on that, and then that will open up the page where it's going to show you the library of, I think it's like 40 plus designs currently right now. And so you have, again, regarding the we can customize the length, and I mean, more than just a few options per season. I mean, I'm not sure if anyone else is doing this. So, but it's been awesome that like I said, this is a win-win. We're always open to new ideas and to experienced riders. Like Nathan, yeah, Nathan, as you see, he's showing right now. It's been awesome that he's been able to test this out. I mean, it's been months. This isn't just something that we've been looking at for weeks. Nathan's been riding with the pants for months. Tweaking it. Giving us feedback of what the biggest thing in the beginning was was the thing of his boot. So we changed it, and now we feel that this is something that that's why it's live. This is something that's going to be something that the writers like Nathan wants, and so this is what we have.
Absolutely. And it definitely helped that you already had a good platform with the MX pants established, and helping with that design and just figuring out what we needed to do, because everyone is hearing that I only had one issue, which was the size of the end of the pants. Well, strictly just because of how good John Bradley Customs pants are to begin with, there wasn't that many issues to on in creating these pants, other than just designing that new style at the end, because that was something new to you, and to your company. Whereas, you know, the rest, everything up from there, that wasn't new. You've been doing that for this time, so you knew what you needed. We knew what we needed in a pair of pants up there at the top half. We just needed to figure out the bottom half. And once that was done, in my opinion, these are a great pair of pants for somebody who's looking for something, whether it's racing or recreational, allowing for that just heavier, just that, not heavier, but just be able to have more material on the outside to just protect their legs. And then also, in my opinion, it helps just getting anything. If you wear a brace or if you wear padding, additional padding on those knees, like I said earlier, for safety reasons, I just
Do
feel
you
like
wear any? Do you wear any braces currently yourself?
I
Any
do.
protection underneath?
Uh, I've been needing to get one just for in the event. Just I don't know if you know this, but it's a really big argument whether or not braces or pads or padding is better. Which one's better? Some people say braces are no go. Some people swear by them. So I've really been just trying to figure out which one is the best, and I just haven't really been able to test with them yet. Just strictly because I've been, you know, dealing with the pants and wanting really just more. Oh, I should say like just a baseline. I want to see what can the pants do. You know what I mean? Before I
Right. So currently, do you wear a knee pad when you ride at all?
no, I don't. And to be honest with you, just that bit of padding that I discussed earlier in that knee area is more than enough for me. But I'm more of a safer rider, I should say. Whereas my buddy from Alabama, he's more of he pushes the limits.
Okay.
He's like full wide open and curves and turns. And I've seen that man wash out of a turn so many times, and I'm just like, "Are you okay?" And then he's like halfway down a mountain, he's just like, "Thumbs up, I'm good, I'm fine."
Well, I mean, and if a rider would have braces or pads underneath that, you know, that's with as you saw, as Nathan showed you guys, it does expand there's a strip of material in the back where it's going to allow that to stretch from the back of your thigh, right, and as well as there's a stretch material underneath the knee, so it's going to be able to stretch, this way, when you're flexing with your knee, right,
Yep.
this way, and in the back, it's going to be able to stretch this way to make your thigh a little bit wider, right?
Oh,
So if you do have a brace, it's going to be a fit right over there.
oh, absolutely. And I had actually noticed that just with the MX pants, just how wide it already felt in the knee area. I already figured that was probably a design in the sense of it. And then the Enduro pants just goes above and beyond with it even more, allowing for area inside of there. In my opinion, like it's kind of they're stretchy just enough to feel flowy, but they're
Okay.
all have enough tackiness in the stretch to still, you know, contour to your leg, keeping that material close to you while also still allowing it to move further past your leg, which is it's a good balance between the two because you don't want that material to hang out too much, but you also don't want it to be too clung to you like my old pair. Because when they just don't, they're very rigid. They don't move as good with my body, so you
Okay.
can't crazy movements on the bike that you need to get over stuff.
Well, Nathan, I just want to say, thank you for your time, man. Really appreciate it. This has been fun. The just this whole experience of getting into a whole new different category, and it's just been awesome that that we can offer, for riders like yourself. That's going to be obviously they know they have a quality product, and one thing as a BMX rider, regarding motocross, we don't think about is these pants are now going to protect, like you mentioned, are going to protect that very expensive motocross boot that you may have.
Exactly.
Buckles, right?
Mm-hmm. And I mean, and that's the benefits of motocross boots is that yes, they're rebuildable like very easily, or I shouldn't say easily, but you can acquire all of those buckles, all of those parts that you need, especially whenever you're getting that costly high dollar pair. You're paying for the quality. The same thing with these pants, and I'm gonna say this is a very average cost. This is a very good costing kit. And I know me and you've discussed that in pricing wise, because to just get like I've looked at other manufacturers over the boot pants before coming to you and talking to you about it, and I mean they just I think it's just because it's just a not as big of a mass produced market as MX pants are, because everyone knows no matter if you're on a dirt bike, you're wearing MX pants. You may not be doing MX riding, but you're wearing MX pants just because they're the most readily available. I can go up to the store, I can grab them off a shelf, off of a rack, and I can go and buy them and go on about my day. And I think that may be what drives the cost of them up is just keeping those pairs in stock and just getting them manufactured. I feel like it's a smaller department in comparison with other manufacturers, and
Right.
it's very nice that the price for enduro pants from John Bradley Custom is such a good price, in my opinion, for what you're getting. You're getting some of the highest quality pants that I have seen on the market for one of the best prices in comparison to what you're getting. So,
Well, you know, if you know, it's all about, you know, we like to build a community for our riders as well. You know, and I can post this on. I'll post it on the. What is a? Do you have an Instagram page that people can follow you?
I do have an Instagram page, but I haven't been on it in a while. I call it Migraines with Nate. It's a buddy of mine named it for me. Actually, he set it up and everything. And
Like what social media page do you use for, or do you have one for, you know, for your writing?
it's that one. I call it. It's literally just called Migraines with Nate.
Okay.
And it's just what I use to post riding stuff. Most recently, I was posting about rebuilding the bike. I did a full top end with some other additionals, and that's where I just kind of post anything I do. I haven't been posting anything about these pants yet until we unveiled them. I didn't want to pull the surprise about them. So definitely, I'll get some more pictures about those and post them of my little reviews and everything about them.
Cool,
And
man.
always will be good though, because these are some great pants. You're a great guy for taking me up on the offer and the idea of creating them. And I think that once people just see like this live, and then they just really get understanding and seeing me wear them, and you know, hopefully more people will be interested in them. And I think that they can go a long ways in, you know, this type of riding where it's a little bit more harsher forestry conditions with, you know, rocky terrain and all that. And you know, whereas once you step off that track, off of an MX track or anything of that nature, and you go into the woods and you're riding the way that we do, whether you're riding at a slower pace or a faster pace, it doesn't matter. You're always going to get stuck with water, mud, rocks, trees, you know, any kind of brush, any kind of things that you go through. And in my opinion, I think that over the boot style pants is so much better in comparison to an MX style, because I just personally, I would rather they be on the outside of the pants than being on the inside, because being on the inside ain't doing me no good in
Right.
protection. So,
Well, cool, man. Are you gonna be able to do any writing? Have you done any writing this weekend or?
not this weekend. I just got back from Kansas City. I got a new job with Altech Industries, and I've been putting forth a lot of effort into that. We do trainings in Kansas City, Missouri, and I've been there for 4 weeks. 4 weeks, 2 weeks at a time. I'm going to be home for 3 weeks, and I think I might go riding next weekend, uh, or maybe even this week, because it's looking pretty good for riding. But right now, this weekend, I've been just catching up on things I have to do around the house, because after this live, I got to go mow the grass. It's about 7 feet tall out there. I ain't been home, so.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll let you go, my friend. I appreciate your time, man. It's good chatting. You know, I love doing this, and you know, we've been wanting to do this for a while, so appreciate your time and doing the review, and we'll be talking soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they become, and seeing more people ride with them.
Well, man, thank you. Thanks, Ethan. Have a good weekend.